Yes, you have read that right. Salt Lake City police officers disciplined for using box cutter on dead homeless man's body. Wouldn't think you would have to tell law enforcement not to be cutting on a dead body, but here we are. Also, I know not everybody makes it to the end of these videos, so I'm going to say this at the beginning. 93% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You are at your computer, you have your phone in your hand, all you gotta do is click the button and I will stop the harassment. Okay, so I've looked over tons of articles and I've looked at tons of videos. I think I have found videos that will sum up these articles because they are lengthy. So we're going to start here, we're going to work our way to the end, and hopefully we'll be done in 15 minutes or less. So we're going to start with this one.
Every person who has passed away and is in our care as a law enforcement agency should be treated with the utmost respect, no matter who they are, how they died, what they did prior to death. It's our job to be respectful.
Law enforcement professionals across the country want answers about what's going on inside the Salt Lake City Police Department. Yesterday, we told you several officers are on administrative leave, accused of improper contact with a dead body, but the department refuses to address it.
Fox 13 News investigative reporter Adam Herbets broke the story and continues to press for answers. We do want to warn you, some of the details surrounding this case are graphic.
It's a tragedy. So it's really important to always remember what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Jennifer Shen is the retired director of the San Diego Police Crime Lab. And after 34 years in law enforcement, today she's doing an interview on a topic she never thought she'd have to explain. Why she believes it's never appropriate for police officers to cut into a dead body.
There's trace evidence on the body that might be important. There are patterns. There could be bruising patterns or impression patterns or tool mark patterns that are really important.
You know what patterns there was not? Basic human dignity patterns.
Sources with knowledge of the case have confirmed to Fox 13 News several Salt Lake City police officers are under investigation, accused of being involved in a prank earlier this month, convincing a rookie officer to cut through the blisters on a dead person's body. The case is under investigation, but Salt Lake City PD won't talk about it.
I hope it isn't true. If it is, law enforcement is not for everyone.
I would be outraged if it was my relative. Because who are you sending out tomorrow if it happens to be my father?
Chris Burbank is the former chief of the Salt Lake City Police Department. He says he was shocked to see the current administration refuse to answer questions, calling it, quote, an employment matter. Do you think the police department has a responsibility to address this?
Oh, without question, yes. This is not an employment matter. This is the trust and confidence that the public has in the police department, in their ability to do the basic job that they're assigned to do.
Do you think they should release the names of the officers?
Yes. All that needs to be said as soon as you find out. Not when the reporter finds out about it. Because then again, as a member of the public, it's like, well, man, what aren't they telling me on a regular basis? Do I have to wait for someone to find out?
I have been privileged to work with people who treat their victims with respect and care about justice and care about our individuals that we're serving, no matter who they are or what they look like or where they're from. So I hope it's not true, because that's my view of law enforcement, and I believe in it very strongly.
The state medical examiner's office released a statement saying they can't comment on past or present cases, and they can't comment on what's going on with the Salt Lake City Police Department. But they wanted to make sure the public knows they prioritize respectful treatment of all our decedents. We also asked the Salt Lake City Police Department earlier today if at the very least they've notified the family or if there is a criminal investigation being conducted. Again, we were told no comment.
Shocker.
Reporting in studio, Adam Herbets, Fox 13.
Thank you, Adam. Because their comment to the comment is always no comment. And they didn't let the family know. So, release the names. They will.
You're watching the body camera video of a brand new Salt Lake City police officer. The department says he was a rookie with only 11 shifts under his belt. He's taking directions from these two.
Even a rookie should know right from wrong. And look at this Opie Taylor looking fucker here. Like smacking on the gum and shit like he thinks he's cool off. He should be under the jail. I'm sorry.
Officers Mark Keep and Paul Mullinax. On August 8th, they were responding to the death of 47-year-old Jason Lloyd. His body is blurred out for privacy reasons.
You been on a dead body? No, you haven't been on a dead body.
No, this is the first one.
So you gotta help move
No. Really?
him. Yes.
You help move them?
Yes.
No, law enforcement is not supposed to touch the body. Let's get that straight. They can go in and they can look and they can say, oh, he is not breathing. And you call, get the ambulance on the way. They're not supposed to even touch it. Now maybe if, okay, let's say not touch it. Not as far, you can check for a pulse. You can check for breathing. You can check and look around to see, like, maybe what's going on. There should be more than just these out here, and don't touch the body.
Okay.
You didn't think that was the thing?
No, I didn't know that.
That's the job.
He didn't know that because he's getting bad advice. Salt Lake City Police confirm officers are not tasked with touching or moving bodies. But watch and listen how rookie officer Dakota Smeagol continued to follow orders.
That's not gonna help.
I feel like you're pranking me.
I'm not.
That's when he's
Now, so I don't want to hear a damn person say more training, more training. They just said in their training they were tasked with not touching the body.
handed a box cutter and given a task to cut through the skin on Lloyd's body.
Take this.
Alright, what do you want me to do?
Go ahead and just pop all the blisters.
Right there?
Yes, sir.
Anything inflated?
Yeah, just poke it.
Blisters are common when someone has been sitting in the sun, but experts we've talked to say this is definitely not allowed.
Every person who has passed away and is on our care as a law enforcement agency should be treated with the utmost respect, no matter who they are, how they died, what they did prior to death. It's our job to be respectful. You never know what might happen next, and you only get one crack at the evidence and the body and what it tells us.
Jennifer Shen is the retired director of the San Diego Police Crime Lab. We explained to her the facts of the case back in August. At the time, officers were calling us, disturbed by the actions of their colleagues. For 6 months, the department had no comment.
This
Shocker.
is not a hard investigation, especially not if there's a video that demonstrates this and shows this. I would be outraged if it was my relative.
Yes. You guys suck.
Also,
Especially not if there's a video that demonstrates this and shows this. I would be
hold up, I'm gonna clip.
outraged if it was my relative.
This looks like some scrubs or something. This looks like maybe a medical something. Why is this one not stopping it?
Yes.
It's hard to tell.
You guys
So
suck.
they are laughing.
We had to do that.
That's okay.
Sure you're alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta pop some bubbles.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know, so.
You're not gonna out.
I'm good.
It's okay if you do.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The department says field training officer Mark Keep violated 8 policies. He resigned before he could be disciplined. Officer Paul
Yeah, and they need to stop that resigning while under investigation and that stop shit because, well, they're not with us. We don't have, what does it say? They say they're not with our department anymore. We don't have jurisdiction over them. So no, stop.
Mullinax violated 4 policies and was suspended for 3 days.
He looked like he every bit of 15 years old.
Isn't it weird that his clothes probably fit him at one time?
Yeah.
Officer Michelle Peterson stood by and watched. The department says she violated 2 policies and received a warning.
Oh, that'll teach her.
They had me pop his blisters.
Rookie officer Dakota Smeagol violated 1 policy. The department says there's no written record of discipline. 3 other officers were placed on leave, but not disciplined. So far, nobody has been charged with a crime.
Alright, end of my interaction on this case.
Anyway, I want to go back here for just a minute. I know why it won't show me where I've been.
Yes.
You help move them?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't think that was the thing?
No, I didn't know that.
That's the job.
He didn't know that because he's getting bad advice. Salt Lake City Police confirm officers are not tasked with touching or moving bodies. But watch and listen how rookie officer Dakota Smeagol continued to follow orders.
That's not no help.
I feel like you're pranking me.
I'm not.
That's when he's
Right here.
But watch and listen how rookie officer Dakota Smeagol continued to follow orders.
I'm gonna clip it.
That's not no help.
I feel like you're pranking me.
I'm not.
Right here. This one right here. This looks like some medical. This one should have completely this one should be charged too. Yeah. I'm not sure what's up with that one, but this one needs some charges too, just standing back and watching. Anyway, we've seen that one to its entirety. So, here's what the family had to say.
He was homeless, but he was still loved, and he still had a family, and he was still very deeply cared for, and they treated him horribly.
The Salt Lake City Police released body cam footage of some employees handling the dead body of an unhoused man named Jason Lloyd last summer. I'm Maya Constantino in Tooele. I spoke with Jason's family who watched the footage. They say they're having to grieve his death all over again. Jason Lloyd's casket was closed at his funeral back in August.
When Jason passed away, we had a funeral, but we were not able to have an open casket. We were not able to have that closure that you usually get when a loved one passes, and that was hard for us all. And now our closure is seeing him on a body cam video, and it's him being treated that way.
Now, Jason's family says they're having to grieve his death all over again.
We're frustrated because this investigation has been going on since August, and as his family, we had no idea. We had no idea he was treated poorly. We had no idea he was disrespected. We feel like we're grieving all over again.
Body cam footage shows officers laughing as they used a box cutter to slice through blisters on Jason's skin. The department placed 7 employees on leave after they found out what happened to his body. His family says Jason carried 8x10 photos of his 2 kids everywhere he went.
I think that was probably his greatest joy, was being a father.
Jason loved bull riding and cared deeply about animals. He also struggled with mental illness his whole life.
Homeless or not, he was somebody's son, brother, child. He was important to us. He mattered. And I feel like they treated him like nothing. And I have to wonder if he wasn't homeless had that not happened.
In Tooele, Maya Constantino, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Look here. Also, I did notice.
Homeless or not, he was somebody's son, brother, child. He was important to us.
Everywhere he went.
I think that was probably
blisters on Jason's skin. The department placed
gang tattoos. They always told us you could tell gang affiliation because they'd have tattoos. Well, there you go. So that's the end of that one. You know how I keep saying it's never a one of? They just go somewhere else and become somebody else's problem. It's never a one of. They go somewhere else to become somebody else's problem. It's not a one of, and I'm about to show you.
Inflation and economic uncertainty have affected all of us. But if you have a structured settlement or annuity, J.G. Wentworth can help you get a lump sum of cash now in exchange for some or all of your future payments. J.G. Wentworth has helped individuals get over $290 million in the past year alone. So why live month to month in these uncertainty?
Shut it. I'm not editing this out either. I'm too tired.
Good chance he will. You been on a dead body? No, you haven't been on
first dead body. No, this is the first one.
So you gotta help move.
Last week, we told you about Salt Lake City police officers disciplined for inappropriately handling the dead body of a man experiencing homelessness.
I feel like you're pranking me.
I'm not.
A rookie officer used a box cutter to slice through blisters on Jason Lloyd's skin in what one report called a type of hazing.
They're supposed to be helping, serving, and protecting, and it's very disappointing.
Advocates for Salt Lake City's homeless population like Wendy Garvin, the executive director of Unsheltered Utah, say it's not just the officers' actions.
I frequently see contempt in the way that Salt Lake City police officers address the homeless population or talk about the homeless population.
These guys are all dopers and addicted to vices.
Layman's terms?
Yeah.
That's why they can't stay housed.
Garvin believes comments like these, captured on body cam the day Lloyd's body was found in his tent, are also revealing of how some officers in the department view the homeless.
It's very clear to me that within the Salt Lake City Police Department there is a culture of contempt and disregard.
Garvin has complained for years about police treatment of people on the streets. She believes the department's culture contributed to the way officers handled Lloyd's body in August.
That dehumanization plays out in the way that the homeless population is arrested, the way that they're interacted with, the way that they're offered services, and then of course in this case the way that they were treated after death, which was just horrifying. I would be shocked to see somebody who was found in a home treated in the same way.
The rookie who cut through Lloyd's skin was taking his direction from these officers.
There's a lot of recruits who quit.
Paul Molinax and Mark Keat. The Fox 13 Investigates team found they are both currently being sued in federal court for separate cases related to their treatment of people experiencing homelessness.
I think that just kind of goes to show the ongoing problem in Salt Lake.
James Roberts is a civil rights attorney in Texas. He's representing the family of Nikon Brandon in a lawsuit filed last year. Brandon died in Salt Lake in 2022, shortly after police held him face down during a struggle. He was homeless at the time. Keep is one of several officers accused of continuing to hold Brandon down after he'd been handcuffed, until he ultimately stopped breathing. The Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office declined to pursue criminal charges in Brandon's death, saying the involved officers used reasonable force.
Used reasonable force. They held him in the prone position so long that he quit breathing. But I guess that didn't violate any policy. And then they're going to say, well, how were they supposed to know? You have to be a complete moron not to understand how that works. Particularly since the prone position is typically the position you put somebody in to handcuff them. You're supposed to make sure their ABCs, airway, breathing, and circulation, are intact.
But the lawsuit claims the officers were not properly trained on the dangers of the prone position.
Please stop. Excuse me. How are they not trained in a prone position when they are trained to put you in a prone position to handcuff you?
Or on how to deal with someone in a mental crisis, as they say Brandon was at the time.
And they continued restraining him until his death. They had previously done the same thing to a woman, Megan Moan, another member of the homeless population there in Salt Lake.
The city's attorneys dispute claims of improper training in both cases.
We're going to do a search of the vehicle because I can.
So then what they're saying is they were properly trained because they got qualified immunity. They don't give a shit. Remember I told you it's not a one-up? It's not. It's the same too.
Obviously smell marijuana. Is there anything in there I should know about?
A separate lawsuit centers around the actions of Molinax and another Salt Lake City officer who were out on patrol in 2023 when they encountered a woman experiencing homelessness.
I'm going to take you to the ground next. You want to do that?
They said they smelled weed in Agnes Martinez's car and told her they needed to search it. During a struggle...
Yeah, we got to stop this open-air search too, because they will fall on that every single time. They will smell weed, and that gives them carte blanche to do what the hell ever they want. Yeah, they got to put a stop to that.
To put her in handcuffs, they used what the lawsuit calls a dangerous takedown method.
Leg sweep.
The complaint alleges that takedown broke her leg.
And she had to have it amputated. That's an awfully high price to pay for a small amount of weed in her car.
The Salt Lake City
Allegedly.
Police Department said last year that it was investigating the incident, saying that in the meantime, any assumptions, including any conclusions or correlations between the amputation and the officer's encounter, would be premature.
Would it? Because she had 2 intact legs before they showed up, and then she didn't. I think we can do that math without even needing them to figure it out.
Roberts is not involved in Martinez's lawsuit. But he said learning that these two officers have been involved in more than one high-profile case involving people on the streets indicates a need for changes to the city's approach to policing the homeless.
What happens when you don't stop it?
Problem that the police department needs to fix before someone else loses their life, and apparently it needs to be fixed on what happens when they run across someone who has already lost their life, not to mishandle the body.
The bloating makes them significantly bigger.
We asked the Salt Lake City Police Department about these pending lawsuits and its officers' general approach
You know what they're going to say, right?
when interacting with people experiencing homelessness. A spokesman for the department said he couldn't comment on pending litigation.
Of course.
But in a statement, he said, "We are committed to our department's core values."
Oh my God. Get your feet up. This shit's about to get deep.
That include compassion in every interaction, especially with people experiencing homelessness. When working with the community, the statement continued, "We work to meet their expectations every time. If we fall short, we take responsibility, learn, improve, and hold ourselves accountable." You can find the department's full statement online on our website at fox13now.com. In Salt Lake City, Taylor Stevens, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thank you. So we know that's complete BS. This is March 5th, and 20, I think the charges were 23, somewhere around there. Anyway, they don't hold themselves to nothing, and they don't care about anybody, because they still got the same two rogue dipshits out there doing the same damn thing. Anyway, let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, some harassment. 93% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to their channel. I said at the beginning, I'm saying it at the end here. You're at your computer, you got your phone in your hand, all you gotta do is click the button, and I'll stop the harassment. Let me know what you think, and I'm out.